Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Bod Pod, another episode of Client Catch Ups. And with a star pupil of mine, Kevin, has, been on the program for about 6 months now, and it's changed his life. And we're going to dive into a little bit about where he was at, kind of the process, how he found it, the progress he's made, and how it's changed him as a man and just in general daily life. All right, so welcome to the podcast, Kev. I hope you're well, mate. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Hiya.
Awesome. Right, we're gonna dive into it basically.
Great.
So
Good to be here. Let's go. Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
awesome. So first of all, kind of going right back to the beginning, where
Yeah.
before you reached out, before we kind of started talking about potentially joining the program, like where were you at? Like what was the biggest frustration with your health, physique, kind of general kind of health and fitness?
But really, just to kind of put it in context, I'm 61. I'm 5'6". And I got into a bad place where I was kind of approaching something the 78 kilo mark for a 5'6" guy. That's heavy. For me, that's heavy.
Mm.
And I got into where I just thought I was doing what I was doing. I was traveling a lot, but most of my traveling was um, hill walking and putting a rucksack on my back. So in
Yeah.
my head, I was doing the right things,
Yeah.
but was not even getting there. So, but as it progressed, I was still putting on weight, and it wasn't going anywhere. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling lethargy, struggling to do bigger hikes. I just hated looking at myself in the mirror because it was just not me.
Yeah.
Somebody was an ex-soldier,
Yeah, exactly.
and at that time was physically fit. Although it was mostly cardio, you know, it was completely physically fit. And there's this 5'6". I'm not going to swear on your podcast,
No, that'd be great. Thanks.
let's put it blunt, I was fat. I didn't like myself. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't like getting changed in front of my wife. That was fucking embarrassing. Sorry, that was
No, it's all
embarrassing.
good. And I meant to be
Sorry,
fair, I remember when you told me that the first time, and
it's
little
horrible.
little things like that you hear as a coach, like that's what that's when you really know deep down that somebody is ready to put a shift in and really kind of make a change,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
feelings like that, you especially as you're getting older, that's the last thing you want to be feeling. You want to feel as confident around your loved ones as you possibly can, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's kind of I heard it from sort of friends, ex-military colleagues, and that they get to my age and they're going, "That's all part of getting old."
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. You know, I'm at a stage now that that is just a figure for me.
Hmm.
And my mindset is, I mean, even some of the comments I put on the community page, challenging and
Yeah.
uh, like let's get a move on. There's no excuse,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. So my mindset at the moment is I'm late late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, I
That's
love
where
that.
I am. Yeah, that's where I am right now.
It's how
I'm not a
it's how it's like how you it's all how you act, right? And how you think. If you think
absolutely.
like somebody, as you said, if you think like somebody who, you know, as you get older, you get out of shape, you become less confident in your body, and that's just what happens. Then that's gonna happen, right?
That's where you're going to be. Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to get old. You're going to start looking old. You're going to start doing less. You think, you know what? I'm not ready for the pipe and a glass of whiskey and a rocking chair. There's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way. And I'm not finished. I'm not finished
And
by no means.
had you had a moment where had you tried anything yourself before kind of, getting in touch and joining the program? Have you, or had you not even had that moment where it was like, maybe I
Yeah,
should do
I
something
kind of
like
knew. And as you know, I've been in the gym before, but
that?
it's when joining your program, it's come to realize that going into a gym is really, if you don't have the nutritional element, and for me, my big realization now, because I used to be able to go into the gym and blast out, an 80 kilo, 90 kilo bench press and still have nothing really to show for it apart from some strength, nothing really visible. My realization now is that it's all made in the kitchen. So everything is made in the kitchen. It is 80% in the kitchen. Bigger muscles, more definition, all that is in the kitchen. 20%, the remaining 20% in the gym. Well, as I've said before, this is sculpturing. This is you just honing it. And, it's just the artist finishing off the painting sort of thing,
knocking away those last little bits of stone, just like taking them off.
Yeah, totally. Just sculpturing away. And, I had initially had a goal, six pack in my 60s. I achieved that.
And we're going to get into that, Kev. We are going to get into that. However, let's not jump ahead. Let's not jump ahead. So you obviously mentioned that you were the way you were feeling beforehand. Kind of.
Yes, absolutely.
What when you first jumped on the program, kind of what were you expecting?
Yes.
What were you expecting from it?
Initially, I didn't know. I didn't know where I was going. I was very much in the dark. And with a small talk before and everything, and I kind of realized with a bit more research that I'd gone about it all the wrong way, and it was the nutrition thing. So I was very much in the dark. And actually, I thought I was eating all right, but I wasn't. I was eating crap. But I had an image, I had a goal, but I needed the meat and to get me there. And it was through talking to you, kind of little one-to-ones with you, that I was just in completely the wrong mindset.
And you can
in the wrong mindset.
And I see it so often, right, in gyms where, like, especially when I was traveling, when I was, coming back to the UK every 6 months, and I would go away and I would travel and kind of work on my fitness goals in that situation. And then I would always come back and I would always go to the same gym for a few weeks every time. And I'd always see the same guys who were in there. And they're in there for an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. They are working hard, right? But they never changed. The way they look never changed.
They never changed.
And you can put
I'm seeing that
so
now.
much time and effort. So much time and effort. A lifetime of time and effort. And actually, if you don't get what's going on in the kitchen right, you're never gonna, like, your confidence and your health and will never benefit from as much as it could, right? From the hard work you've put in. And you've hit the nail on the head there. It is 80% nutrition, because
Absolutely.
It really is. And so when you joined the program, kind of what did you initially, what were the struggles? Like, what did you find difficult? Be honest.
Oh, really? Is kind of trying to hit those macros and really trying to kind of get my head around the food and just like, what I mean. But I started
tracking of food though, right?
The tracking food initially, and what can I eat? What can I eat? And it was so confusing initially, until I kind of settled down and just said, eat what you want to eat, but in moderation. And and the calorie tracking. I've had a day where I blew it by midday. I completely blew my calories by midday. And I thought, I'm going to be starving by, come evening time. And I thought, I'm going to teach myself a lesson here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I basically sat there and I drank water or, a Coke Zero, that kind of thing,
exactly.
just to quench the thing. And I hit that I hit my calorie goal. And the next morning I was like, come on, Kev, let's get a grip of this, and I quickly worked out. I have my shake before I go to my training. My shake is for me is like 50 grams of protein.
Yeah. And you
With
getting in that routine, right, of having that big hit of protein, easy to track, same thing every morning.
yeah,
It's tasty and effective. Like that worked so well for you once you got over that initial kind of that initial like
yeah,
learning
get
phase
me
of
profit.
the tracking
Yeah, yeah,
stuff, right?
absolutely. So that 50 grams of protein. So it'd be the clear whey. I'd have my normal protein in there, and I'd have my tablespoon of creatine in there. So it was a massive hit.
Mm-hmm.
And away I'd go to the gym, um, come back, and it's lunchtime. A couple of chicken breasts with whatever I want to do on it, spices and everything.
Mm.
And I'm still running around with. I still had about 500 calories for the evening meal.
And you, to be
So
fair, like you have just kept it simple, right? You've just
yeah, I've
made
kept
it
it
as easy as you
completely
can for
simple.
yourself. And a lot of people, and I'm the kind of person who can eat the same thing over and over again if I know it's going to get me to my
Yeah,
goal,
I'm the
right?
same
With just
boat.
small adjustments. And not everybody is like that, but it makes the process damn sight easier, doesn't it? And like
Yeah,
it's just little
absolutely.
things and tweaks over time. Replace something when you get kind of um
A little
like
bit bored with it.
yeah, a little bit bored with it, but like you're fueling your body to achieve a goal that's more than just getting a six pack. That's
And
that's
there it
fun.
is. That word you just said there, fueling your body.
Yeah.
If even as a kind of food coming away as a foodie, and I used to enjoy my food and having nice food and everything.
Mm.
But change that switch and say, well,
Mindset, right?
actually, mindset,
It's a different
absolutely
mind.
mindset. Not food, it's fuel. It's fuel.
Hmm.
Now try and get the best fuel you can inside you to achieve what you want to achieve.
And once you do, you start to notice how it makes you feel, not necessarily just about the training, right? But in general, when
Yeah,
you're giving your body all the
absolutely.
micronutrients it needs, when you're giving the body the amount of protein it needs to recover properly and the fats to regulate your hormones and the good healthy fats and you feel it. And I was just talking to Ollie, I was just doing his check-in, and the even the mental benefits he's now having from getting out in fresh air and doing his
Yeah,
steps and fueling his body correctly, like productivity and all these kind of things, it's
yeah.
benefiting him.
I could, there's always been a say where my fat. You tell me fat in my head, and I'm going, no, I don't want
Yeah.
it.
And that was a little we did
You
have a few chats
you
about that.
slapped me on the wrist so many times
And as a
about it.
man, as a man, it's important, right? Because we, especially as we age, we want to keep our testosterone as high as we can,
Yeah,
especially for a man
absolutely.
who wants to build muscle, look their best, and
Yeah,
um, it's important. And a lot of people do, and just drop the fat as low as they can because they think fat's going to make me fat. It doesn't work like
it
that.
isn't. No, no, and it kind of it's all. I'm a place now where I'm almost like having half an avocado a day, and if come at the end of the day and I'm seeing I've still got a fat thing, it's I'll go, come on, Kev. Here I go, extra virgin oil, a good virgin oil,
Yeah,
tablespoon, take it down. There's my medicine,
yeah,
and bring it back up again. But and those are kind of little simple hacks that you could do, whether it's olive oil, some peanut butter in your protein shake. If you've not got it in the morning, you've got it in the evening,
yeah,
to make your protein, hits and that. All right, I'm still low there. I'm still a bit there. Right, I'll have a peanut butter, a tablespoonful of peanut butter and a bit of honey, raw honey,
yeah.
and away you go. They're just simple little things to make you to hit your macros. It doesn't have to be difficult. It was, hands up. For me in the beginning, it was difficult trying to get my head around that. But when I switched the mindset to saying it's it's a fuel,
Hmm.
you know, um,
But
trying to
like
get like,
fuel you enjoy, right? You can
of
it's not
course,
just
yeah, I
like
don't,
I'm gritting my teeth as I get this down. It's like I'm eating good, tasty, good quality food that is giving my body what it needs to perform and to achieve the physique that I want.
oh my God, yeah, you go looking for it, don't you? You
Yeah.
absolutely go looking for it. So my beef, I buy online. Dorset Meat Company. There you are. I'll promote it. They give out the best sirloin steaks
Yeah.
for really good prices. Good 10-ounce sirloin steaks, and then you've got a 40 gram hit in a good piece of steak.
If you can cook it
And
well,
then you've got your
that's the thing though.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, and you don't realize you can do it.
Yeah.
And initially you've got to have all this crappy food,
Yeah.
or food that you don't like. I
Bland
say crappy
food.
food,
Bland food. That's what
bland
people
food.
think. Bland,
Yeah,
plain, not tasty, chewing on cardboard. But yeah, it's absolutely not like that, and you learn that very quickly, and it's benefited you hugely. In terms of the program, though, like during the process, you are somebody who I think really dived headfirst into the community aspect, right? And
yeah,
and and gave it and took it and just like provided energy for others, but also then buzzed off energy that others gave back. So, how did you feel
yeah,
like that
absolutely.
benefited you as you went through this process?
So yeah, so early on, it was quite quiet in the community, and I thought, "Oh, no, people need to talk. There are more people out there,
Mm.
and I just thought if you join on a program, and there are others out there, but you're not talking, then you don't feel part of that community, even though
Mm.
you've got it like in the title of this community. So I started hitting out on um, just throwing comments out and saying, come on,
Just how you're feeling and what you're
when,
doing
yeah,
and
yeah, hey,
what's
how I'm
benefiting you and
feeling,
what's working for you.
yeah, what's working for me, challenging guys, come on, where are you at the moment? And I used my age to
Yeah.
try and encourage them on
Yeah.
to do that. And I think at one point I threw a picture in there, didn't I?
Yeah, of course. And that's motivating
Yeah,
as well to everyone.
yeah, to
And I really
pros.
I really feel like
I think
the
Liam came
the
back, didn't he? And Liam and a couple of others went, yeah, my God, 60, and
yeah,
you've got abs.
yeah,
Well, that was the goal.
yeah.
That was the goal.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
And I think the
so
that community aspect definitely when you came into a group, obviously not everyone's as confident as outgoing as other people, and obviously you're a very
yeah,
confident person, as am I, and it's it like you sometimes need a person like that to bring it out of other people. And
yeah,
and for sure the community benefited when you came in and it goes through, there's always moments for certain people where they maybe step back and they're finding things a bit tough and they just want to focus on themselves. But really, once you kind of surround yourself by and with a group of men who are all trying to, at the end of the day, achieve the same thing, right? They're all trying to better themselves, and
yeah,
and it can only go one way. And I think benefited and had an impact on others as well. And I think that was a big part in your success for sure, right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's a couple of times where I text the guys directly, and I just thought rather than just kind of, you did the community thing and just said, well done, pat on the back,
Yeah.
you get in there, that's the kind of thing you want to see. And then I thought, you know what, I'll do it on a one-to-one rather
Mm.
than just come from community, to have it, just to turn around and say, it's almost like saying somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
And I thought, kind of granddad of the group sort of thing. I just
Yeah.
sort of went, and a couple went back, dude, you're doing awesome.
I didn't know that. I
Where are
did
you
not
at?
know that.
Where are you at? How are you going to do it? If you want to chat, give me a call.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
and I've had a couple of guys come back to me and chat to me, and
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 at the end
I
of the
thought
day,
that was pretty good.
yeah, that's very good. I didn't know that, and I would encourage that, of course. And um, it just knowing people are there for you during a process like this, when, as I said, it can
Yeah,
get a little bit tough. Um,
yeah,
that goes a long way, and we should all, and we do. Like that's why we do Wednesday wins every week. Like we all celebrate each other's successes, and again, that
yeah, and we
just
should.
drives people on.
Yeah, absolutely, and it should be encouraged more and more.
Mm.
And maybe one day we should just do a kind of a Zoom, but let's make it a social Zoom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Do you
Good
know?
idea.
Yeah, let's make it a social Zoom. You know, have a gin
Well,
and tonic with you,
well,
and
I mean,
yeah,
when I come back to the UK, I'll be looking to do like community meetups and things like that. So like this is definitely like there's big things planned for the future. For there's a small matter of being 24 hours on a plane away from you currently. So
yeah.
from a bunch of the guys. But yeah,
Jake, mate, you are living the life, my friend. You're
it's
living a life, and it's
it's
the life that you wanted. You know,
yeah,
it's perfect. You
absolutely.
know,
But I want to
you
dive
could do
into
all that come
I
across
do
here
want
on
to dive
holiday.
in, huh?
So you could do all that when you come across here on holiday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I do want to jump into that kind of that subject though. So
Yeah, go for it.
in terms of you know your lifestyle. So during the
Yeah.
program, kind of tell the guys a little bit about the challenges that you faced and obviously within the group we have a lot of men who struggle because their job takes them here, there, and everywhere for various reasons and to varying like severities. But tell everyone a little bit about your situation and how travel made it difficult.
So yeah, is before the program is it was all about Jackie and mine. I think is traveling. We love to travel. Um, Not kind of like the 4-star, 5-star. We're more adventurous. We like to hike. We've got the camper van, and even when we go abroad, it's not about going to the main tourist areas or anything like that. It's just meeting people and just going finding things rather
Yeah.
than sort of sitting in a 5-star hotel and put my feet up
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. So that before the program, nutrition value that was out the window because I was just eating whatever I wanted to eat.
Mhm.
Yes, I was doing the walking and everything, but wasn't doing any fitness either.
Mm.
Just because I didn't feel I had the time to do that. So let's jump forward to starting the program, and again, it's a mindset. For me, it was a big switch, and like you said, it was a switch for me. It's on, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And I kind of then started to look at
Mm.
everything I did, and I had a couple of bands, but they were old ones. So I think first time I went away, and you were saying you put some stuff out there, going, Kev, get your bands out. There's no excuse. There's a lot of things you could do. You don't need big weights. You just need muscles to be under tension to keep your muscles.
Yeah.
So again, as you know, I tend to go hunting online, and I'm really specific about who I'm looking at, and I tend to look at science-based
Yeah.
tubers and that kind of thing that make more sense than just look at me kind of thing.
Yeah,
People,
exactly. And that
yeah,
was
there's a
big for
lot
you.
of that.
That like
Yeah,
going, especially with the traveling you do, a lot of it being kind of more rural, on your own, like out there in the
yeah,
van
absolutely.
and stuff. It's you don't have a lot of facilities. You don't have access to a gym. You're not in a hotel. You like the food can be a bit more, as and when we can get hold of stuff and we stock up on what's available and
Yeah, yeah,
implementing those kind of things within the 3P method that we teach in the program to like just try and be consistent with your food whilst you're away. Try and keep
yeah,
it as similar to what you do at home and just make good choices. Um, and you're not going to go far wrong. And obviously, doing what you can to stimulate the muscles whilst you're away. As you said, it
I,
was you had
I,
you had a couple of times when you were away in the van. You had the bench and just a set of
so yeah,
dumbbells.
I've
Doing what you can to
had a pair of
stimulate the muscles.
dumbbells, 10 kilo dumbbells that have traveled kind of everywhere with me since I've moved, but never ever really used them. Um, so first time after you did the band thing, and I think the first time I went away, I dug out my TRX,
Yeah.
and on the back of the van, I've got a great big kind of ladder kind of thing. So I threw the TRX on the top rung, and started doing TRX exercises in anywhere I could, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
For anybody who's
um,
watching who doesn't know what a TRX is, It's essentially a rope, right, kind of thing with handles
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
ends,
just
and
on
you
the bench
attach
and
it, and you
using
can
body
do
weight,
you can do lots of body weight exercises and stuff with it.
lots of swimming exercise with it and everything. So I started using that. Then came across my rusty old dumbbells in the garage.
Hmm.
And I thought, you know what? I can still do a lot with these as well.
Hmm.
So the dumbbells went in the back of the van every time we went away. And I thought, oh God, I really miss having that bench
Yeah,
to do something else. And I went, there's got to be fold away, but
yeah,
lightweight
of course.
fold away benches and everything else. So away I went, Amazon, found a lightweight bench for 60 quid. And I threw that on the in the
And
van
it
as
just
well.
and it
So
and it
everywhere I went,
makes a difference, right? Like just
it
little
totally
things
makes a
like
difference.
that, doing what you can do in a situation, and that's like another part of how we looked at it whilst you were going on away on these trips. Like if we just do a little bit of planning beforehand, then
Yeah,
you are setting yourself up to do the absolute most you can. But like it being realistic that you can actually do it, and you're not setting yourself these crazy goals, and it's as we said,
I know.
continuing to stimulate the muscles, being mindful, and having a structured way to look at your nutrition so it stays as similar as we can when we're at home, and then just
Yeah,
manipulating things like our activity and stuff while we're away to ensure we continue to make progress. And you
that,
absolutely did. You
you know,
would go away, wouldn't you? And
thinking
you'd
it.
come back and you'd still lost weight.
Yeah, I think I think I lost about lost just under a kilo as I'm going away, and the van's good. The UK, Europe, anything else. Wait, come on. There's always an Aldi. There is always a Lidl.
Yeah, exactly.
You can pick up your chicken. You can pick up your steak. And I think I think I was in the New Forest, and I was cooking um, basically strips of steak, a pepper steak with broccoli in a meal for both Jackson and I,
Mm,
for both Jackson and I. And then on the same day, I tend to get up early in the morning anyway,
mm.
and I quickly posted out, took the photo, and said no, just for the in the community, and I threw out there and say no gym, no excuse. And there's the
Exactly.
bench with the towel on it and the dumbbells and the bands. And a couple of guys come back to me and said, "Bloody hell, Kev,
Hmm. I
you
mean, it
know,
is. It's just
you've got to
just
take it
doing what
serious,
you
right?
can, right?
You've got to take it serious. Yeah, you've got to
Exactly.
take it serious. There is no excuse. There is no period where you cannot do something.
Hmm.
There is no excuse.
And that's why,
Absolutely none.
and that's why helping these kind of men is so important to me because
Oh God,
I struggled with
yeah,
it for a while, and it is very easy to just accept that your lifestyle or your job or the what you have available or the fact that you're non-stop like that it's you're just not meant to be in shape or
yeah.
you just can't. But really and
You
it
can.
requires some discipline, right? It doesn't you have to be
Yeah,
a bit
that's all
disciplined.
it is. It's a bit of discipline, but you can almost once you start it and it becomes a routine. It's not a
Yeah.
discipline anymore, isn't it? It's just like it's part of what I do.
Yeah. And because you
It's
see the
me.
results you get from it.
Yeah, yeah, it's part of what I do. I think the other time was I put on there sitting out the airport waiting for a taxi, and I'm sitting here doing calf raises. You know,
Yeah. Or just like
which,
or just steps, like whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah, calf raises. Sitting there, yeah, discreet holding your cases off the floor while you do it. So you've got 20 kgs on in your
That's just
hands while
a
you're doing a calf raise.
And that's just a little example of like, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It just have to be.
No,
And this is why we like, we would modify your training in a way that you got the most out of what you had available, and so and it works. And going forward in the future now with the shape you're in and like the habits and the
yeah,
discipline you've learned, obviously you now, and from being in the military and all this, you can do this. So, but not everyone is necessarily has that inner strength or knows about it and has demonstrated it to themselves before. But like knowing that you can be disciplined for a period of time is powerful,
yeah,
right?
Oh,
And going forward after this, like, how do you feel about possible challenges like that coming up?
oh, you know what? Bring him on.
Yeah.
Bring them on. Absolutely. I got to the where I got the six pack in, and I just felt I'm just not ready to give this up.
Mm.
I'm so not ready to give this up. Where can I go with this now? Can I get? Let's try to get down to the 10%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so close. I think when the last time I calculated was it about 4 or 5 days ago. I was at 13%.
Mm.
So I took the measurements, the neck measurement, I took the chest, took the waist, took the legs, took the arms,
Mm.
put all the measurements in, then it banged out and said, yeah, you're, 13%, you are, and you go through the table and you have a look at it, and where are you?
Yeah.
Fit. You are fit for your age.
And I mean, you don't, as a 60-year-old man, you don't need anyone to tell you that, do you? You know that, but it still feels good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And go,
Absolutely.
and going back to what you said at the beginning of the call, and you said to me at the beginning of the program, like, you didn't like getting changed in front of your wife. Now, like, game changer. Absolute
Oh,
game
mate.
changer.
What I get now is put it
You get
away.
you get you get changed in front of anybody now.
No, absolutely. It's sorry, I can be vain right now, right?
Yeah,
I've put the work in. I'm allowed to be vain.
of course.
And so I was at a gym, not a camping site in North Wales.
Mm.
We're doing Snowdon and that kind of thing. And I'd get up early because I was gonna, and I'd just done an hour on the bench, and we got to know a few people in the campsite and everything. And I got up in the morning and I just strolled over in a pair of shorts to the showers and everything. And all I got from this guy who was younger than me but had the beer belly and everything. And sorry to your viewers, but it was he basically like, fuck's sake, Kev, put it away. Get out of my sight. But
Exactly.
and that makes you feel good, right? That
What's
makes
the
you feel good.
No,
So
I don't think
so
we've
yeah.
actually. I mean, I think this is the time where we kind of actually talk about the results you've got. So,
Yeah,
in
sure.
terms of the weight you lost, we hit double digits, right? And being
Yeah.
a little guy, it's that's a big
What?
number.
It's a big number. So, currently I sort of flitting between sort of 11 and a half kilos at the moment. Lost. And I say for a 5'6", a 5'6" guy, 1 meter, what's that, 1 meter 70.
Yeah.
It's huge. It makes a big difference. But then what happens then is as you start doing the weights, because you're a smaller guy, and this is where the bigger guys like yourself are a bit more unfortunate. You have to do more work to look bigger, right? You have to put
I
more people on
definitely
to look
feel that.
bigger. And us little 5'6" guys actually don't to look big. So yeah, it kind of I've had comments people, yeah, like, have you looking a bit gaunt in your face? You've lost too much. I go, well, actually, I haven't.
Mm.
I've gone from kind of a 40 chest to 43 chest.
Yeah.
And I've gone from a 34 waist to a 28-30 waist.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like it that's likely coming from somebody who wouldn't or couldn't put themselves through what you've put themselves, right? Yeah, put themselves through what you've
absolutely.
done.
And people that have seen me where I've been at my biggest, my heaviest, that's what they were used to. And all of a sudden, I'm about to go on holiday again this month, where friends haven't seen me at all, and I got no doubts they're going to be like, what the hell? You're looking too thin in that. I can't wait to take the top off. I'll just take the top off. I go, where's that? Where does that look too thin?
Exactly.
And just say, right, I'm feeling. I said, I'm more energized. I'm more clear-headed. All those good things that come with nutrition and exercise and good health.
Have you had a moment recently, or since you've kind of got down to this weight where you're now kind of hovering at a little bit now, Have you had a moment where you've realized just like how far you've come? Have you maybe like a picture of you before has popped up on your phone or like something like that, which is thought, damn, I have really come a far way here.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of look at that 1st of May photo, thin legs, belly over the waistline. Um, Really, I mean, it's such a horrible photo. It's, you could see I was just, in my facial features, it was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to look like this.
Mm.
What am I doing? It actually took so much inner strength to stand in front of a camera and take that photo.
Yeah.
That was so hard, so hard, and actually quite emotional.
Mm.
Um, but that photo became the basis for everything going forward.
Mm.
So every week, that photo, and then the next week, that photo. And, my biggest drop was right in the beginning when it was the turn on switch, stop eating the crap. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that was my biggest drop in weight. And then it's kind of plateau, drop, plateau, drop, plateau, drop, plateau, drop. Um, but I still compare that photo every week with the new photos, and it's and from that photo, the confidence grew every single week. And here I am, kind of near the end of my 4th month, and my confidence sky high. You know,
And
absolutely fine.
just touching on what you said there,
Cool.
the that photo and it being painful to take, right?
Yeah,
Joining a program like this and going through a process like this,
yeah.
like it can be painful, like or it
Oh
just
God.
reiterates that the difficult things give you the best rewards. And if it was
Absolutely.
easy, everybody would be in shape, and they're not. And that's where you're setting yourself apart from others and taking your own confidence and quality of life to another level by putting in the work that a lot of other people aren't willing to do.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely. And it's
you should be proud of yourself. What is the proud thing you're most proud of?
the thing I'm most proud of is um it's kind of psychological. Whereas right at the beginning, I felt 61. If not, I felt more like 70
Mm.
when I started this. Now, I've like I said to you before, I feel like I'm in my early 20s and early 30s. I have so much more zest for life.
Yeah.
Um, and let's be quite blunt about it. At 61, people are starting to drop around you. People are starting to disappear around you, and you become very conscious of that.
Mm.
You become very conscious of people, you know, old military colleagues and that you were with, you trained with, you went to war with, um, and they're disappearing off the sidelines.
Mm.
And here I am, gone through the program. I feel $1 million. I feel like a 20-year-old and a young 30-year-old. Um, and I kind of want to reach out to them
Mm.
and go, come on, you can change. You can
I
change.
think
You don't have to sit there.
now having that feeling and knowing how much it changes your mindset and your life and your
Yeah.
confidence, like I imagine, and I've been there, like you just want other people to experience it, right?
Yeah. But
And and I guess at
it's
your
hard,
like
it's
in
hard to
your
just get
position,
it.
it's even more so like this is at our age, it's game changing for our life and our quality of life and longevity.
Ah, it's, it's just, I, you get to a point, well, I do understand it. And I do, because I couldn't see it when I,
Yeah.
4 months ago, I couldn't see it, and I just thought, I'm just getting old. I just do what I do. And then, you crack on and you do the best you can.
Mm.
Um, but now I'm looking at trying to, drop some bloods, at the moment I was giving statins and all that kind of thing for um,
Blood pressure and stuff.
BP, blood pressures, and all the other stuff. But now my diet has changed. BP, I kind of that's a genetically family thing.
Mm.
But the other stuff, I'll get rid of.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of. I'm not going to get rid of it because my cholesterol level has dropped.
Mm.
Because I'm eating the right stuff.
Mm.
So that was another goal. Let's get rid of some of these pills. I don't need them.
Yeah.
And I don't want them.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. Let's just try and do it. Let's get there. Let's get there. And in fact, it's on Monday. I'm away to do those specific bloods to try and get rid of it.
Mm.
So
awesome. I can't wait to hear back because I have no doubt that you will have, in that sense as well, come a long way since the program started. So
they tell me I'll drop it, I'll drop that bomb straight in the community and say, look, here's another plus point.
Yeah. I
I've
love
lost,
that.
I've lost, stopped taking chemicals to try and control issues that I can control with food, basically, natural, good nutrition and good health.
Yeah. And on that note, it's somebody like, as if you were talking to your military buddies who aren't kind of necessarily in a position where they feel like they can make a difference, or just anyone in general who maybe feel like they are past the point at which they can't really make a drastic change to their body or their health. Like, what would you say to somebody who is in that position?
I kind of thought about this question as well. Is especially with kind of the military community, who their mindset is it can be, once they get into a rut, they become straight and narrow. They become very narrow-minded in what they do. But the beauty with the kind of the brotherhood is that we can take the piss out of each other and not be insulted by it. And if I come across face to face with one of the guys, and they say to me, they would turn around and say to me, you're looking brilliant, Kev. How you do it? Give me a queen. I say, but the one thing I say, you can do it.
Mm.
You know what? You can. No, Kevin. Especially my jock lads. And their fried Mars bars and the rest of it. It's like, no, Kevin, come on. This is look at me.
Mm.
I'd quite happy rip off my top and say 4 months. This is 4 months of my life, which basically cost me, let's say, an hour and a half in the gym and eating good food. That's all it is. That's it. And big one's dropping the booze, isn't it? The big one is dropping the beer, especially for these guys. Just drop the beer. Don't drop the whiskey. You're allowed a glass of whiskey or a glass of gin. You know what I mean?
And it's all about balance. Is it all about balance?
And it's all about balance. But look, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, there's no reason. You're the only you're the only person stopping you from.
You're the only person stopping it. You need to be confident. Stop the negativity. Yes, you'll be embarrassed initially. But it's about taking control. It really is about taking control, and you can do this.
Yeah,
you have the discipline, and you know how to work as a goal. The other one is, and why I try to include in to push the community thing, was that British soldiers work best as a team. That's how they function. It's how they function, and it's taking like the piss out of each other to push people onwards.
Yeah, just a community.
So the community.
It can only benefit you, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is accountability. Don't question it. You do it. Okay, and that can work in this program as well.
Because it's going to benefit you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it did it for me
Yeah.
by being accountable to you and to the program and myself. But the fact that there is someone there that you want to basically say, look, I can do this. I can do this. You know, it's almost like going to their sergeant major. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
Mm.
Done it, sir. You know, all that kind of thing. So they can do it. And I wish sometimes they just get out of their mindset. But a lot of them, especially if it's got the jocks at the top end, it's just they get too set in their ways. I'm talking to a few of them. You know, whether they pull the switch and go for it, you know,
Yeah.
that's really up to them.
But in
But I will.
general, like any man who, you know, in any walk of life, they can
They
change,
can
they
do
can
it.
completely change their body, right?
They can change it. And let's pick on it. 3 months, 4 months, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It really is nothing because you are really going about you're still going about your own life.
Yeah.
You just tweaked it.
Yeah. Exactly.
You've
That
just
is it. That's
tweaked it.
exactly it.
You
Um,
know,
and
I
it,
still do everything I want to do.
yeah,
You know, I've just tweaked it in areas to suit me, to suit my health and suit my goals, my personal goals,
yeah,
my personal health goals.
yeah.
And here I am, 4 months later,
Eleven
as
and a
you
half
know,
kg down and a different man. Different man.
yeah, a completely different body. I mean, even in my military days, yeah, I had kind of when I was younger, in my early 20s, there was, there was the vague signs of, a six pack, but shredded, no. Serratus, no. Now you're doing it
That's
right.
awesome. Little changes, little
You know,
changes, and that's why education and and working with somebody who can reassure you in those moments where you're not sure is a game
absolutely,
changer, right? And
yeah,
that's the difference for a lot of men.
and that's where you'll want by being as approachable as you are,
Mm,
and a very open door policy. You
yeah,
can talk to me about everything and anything to get
yeah,
off your chest.
yeah,
And it doesn't have to be just nutritional or workload based. Some people just need um, a bit of motivation.
yeah.
Make this tweak your
Or to
life.
just
It
get
doesn't have to
something off
be
their chest.
get off their chest. It just makes you far more approachable. And by being far more approachable, people want to achieve.
Mm,
They
yeah,
feel motivated because they can relate to you and they feel that you're relating to them. You're almost a father. You are a father figure, and you're trying to nurse those kids into being the best that they can possibly be. So
and
yeah, you've got to. At the end of the
exactly.
day, you've got a group of kids around you,
That's it,
and they're still
and that's
learning.
that's the goal, just to change as many lives, as many men's lives as I can, and just help them feel what you've felt during this process, and I think that's a great place to leave it. I mean, it's it's amazing seeing you go through this journey from where you've started to where you are now, and the habits,
Oh,
the
thank you.
knowledge, the lifestyle changes, and just seeing how it's impacted you mentally, and it's and how that's having an effect on the way you impact people in your life, whether that's within the community or family, friends, that kind of thing. So I applaud you, Kev. You've absolutely smashed it, and um, I know whatever you set your mind to, with whether that's your physique, travel, anything, you will, absolutely smash it because you've proven it to yourself that it's never too late. And I hope people listening to this can feel that from this conversation, and that they think twice about just accepting where they are, because that is what keeps a lot of people stuck. And yeah,
Never accept. There is always a better you.
yeah,
There
yeah,
is always a better version,
yeah,
and you really have to just strive to achieve it and want
exactly
to.
that, exactly that,
Um,
exactly that,
you know
Kev.
what? Six pack in your 60s.
Six pack in his 60s. We'll leave it at that, people. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. And if you are interested, if you can relate to any of what Kev's spoken about, with the struggles and just wanting to feel what he's expressed on this call, then the link to book a call with me to have a chat about your current situation and how I could help you get results like Kev is in the top line of the description. Give it a click, book in for a call, 15 minutes. We'll have a quick chat and we'll see what we can do to help you. I appreciate everyone for listening. I appreciate you, Kev. Thank you for everything. And on to the next episode. I'll be doing lots more of these where I talk to my clients who have had amazing success. And yeah, we'll keep spreading the good vibes, the good energy, and the great results. Cheers.